and welcome to my channel. My name is Primrose, and what I'm going to be doing for you today is a quick and easy little tutorial of how to cleanse and decorate your altar for Yule. I just want to add a little disclaimer as well, saying that this is how I personally do things, and I believe that with the Wicca faith it is all very subjective. I'm a solitary eclectic Wiccan, and this process is what I've found to work best for me. If this doesn't work for you, then that's fine, and I'm just trying to put this out there to advise people and help them with potential ideas, because when you are first starting out in this religion and on your path, it is difficult to know what to do. So what I'm doing first of all is just removing everything from my altar, just putting it to the side. I'm not doing anything fancy or special here, and I'm just gonna basically start afresh. It's always good to have a really good fresh base. Well, I usually do this at every Sabbath, just so I can refresh my altar, and it's good that it's cleansed and clean, especially when it comes to preparing for a Sabbath, I would say. So that's why I'm doing this at the moment. And I'm also removing anything that's related to my altar from the sides of it as well, so that's what I've done. And then I'm just showing you everything that was on my altar is now just placed around on the floor in front of me at easy reach, so everything is now removed. The reason that I remove everything to do with my altar from around the sides, even though it's not on my altar, is because it's linked to my faith. It's linked to everything and the energy around the altar, so that's why I removed that. And then what I'm going in with now is I'm just cleaning around the space. That includes the skirting boards, because again, it is the energy, it is the space around my altar, and I'm just giving it a dust down on top. And then I just start to clean my incense burner, because sometimes there's residual ash on there, and that is what we want to do next. We want to get some incense going so it is calm and chill and starts to cleanse the space. When choosing your incense for the altar, I like to relate it to the Sabbath that's coming up, and I felt like orange was a perfect scent to go with, so that's why I picked that, and it's a little bit nicer than the cinnamon, I think. So I thought it was perfect for Yule and the festive time. So all I'm doing is lighting that. Now that there's a clean base, I have put my incense back on the altar, and that is the first thing that I start with. Now that the incense is lit, I clean the rest of my items just with some normal tissue, nothing fancy. I'm just dusting it down to get any bad stagnant energy off. So when you're cleaning down your objects for your altar, I think it's really important to focus your energy and your intentions for what you're doing. Focus on the positive and the new change that will come with Yule, and breathe in the smell of the incense. Not too much, do it in a well ventilated area, but just take it in, take the moment in, take time to do this, take time to pace yourself. Oh, do you like my book, by the way? This is the Harmony Nice Wicca book that she wrote, and I actually met her, and it's signed inside. That was like one of the best days of my life. She's so nice, she's so down to earth, and yeah, I love that book. I always see it as some sort of like form of meditation, because it's quite relaxing and therapeutic for me cleaning all this stuff and resetting it up. So especially with the incense lit, I think it's really good for the soul. And then as I'm cleaning and as I'm going, I am putting the things back onto my altar, and I do always start with the goddess side. I don't know why, I just feel like that's right for me, and I feel very much more drawn to the goddess, so I always start with that side and work across. I don't know if it's got something to do with going almost clockwise. I just feel like that's the right order to do it in, so that is what I'm doing right now. And now that the basics are placed for the goddess side, I'm going to start on the god side of my altar. That's my little, when my dog passed away, we got little things, little keepsakes, and it's got his fur inside. And what I'm just doing now with it is, I've moved the incense to the centre of the table, and I'm just passing the object through the incense scent, because that is now charged with my intention. I've focused on it, I've meditated on it. And a quick way to cleanse, if you don't have sage, if you don't want to use sage for whatever reason, if you just want it to be, because I like making it Yule themed, I like the scent of it, so I just pass any objects through the smoke. And I find it really interesting because when I first pass objects through that need cleansing, the smoke will avoid the object, but then as soon as it's been through, it starts to be attracted to the object, and I feel like that's how I know that it's been cleansed. So I'm just dusting these objects down and then passing them through the smoke. And what you'll see me do is I'll go left and right 4 times in a circle, and I'm not sure again why I do this. I feel like it's right, especially for round objects, because it's not so easy to turn them within the smoke. If you go in a circle, or if there's anything with a hollow in it, I feel like that is one way to get the smoke to go up and into it, and for it to be absorbed if you go in a circle. So that's why I do that. And then I'm just putting my cinnamon through. And dusting down some of the things that will go around. That's my rune stones that I'm just dusting down now. They've not been taken out of the bag, so they don't need cleansing or anything like that, but you can do the same and pass the stones through the incense as you would if you want to go individually and do that. That's absolutely fine, but I know for myself that I haven't used them. It's my book of shadows, and I'm just dusting that down and putting that down. You'll notice there are some objects that I choose to put through the incense and some that I don't, and the ones that I know haven't been touched, the ones that I know won't have any negative energy to them, then I won't put them through the smoke. But it's completely up to you what you do. You might choose to do every single object that's on your altar, and that is fine. I recently did just do this, but I did want to record a video on how I did it, so this is why I'm redoing it and why I'm not smoking every single object. But it's perfectly fine, like I say, if you do want to do that. So I've laid my cauldron on the table, and now I'm just laying my, I'm not too sure what you'd call it, it's kind of like a table runner, but it was kind of a DIY that I did, and I used that for displaying my wand on the front of my altar. But then if I do draw any tarot cards, I will use that because it is the perfect length to spread out my tarot cards. Now these are just some bowls that I picked up from, I don't know if they're from a charity shop. I was really drawn to the look of them. So we've got one sea one, and I think that really represents water element really well in my altar. And then this one I could not put down. It's like, it reminds me of autumn, and autumn is my favourite time of year, and I think those colours are absolutely stunning. So that is my offering bowl, and the one that I use for the salt. I put the salt in the water one because I think they go really well together. And then I'm just cleansing my crystals, and I love to do this every single time, whether they've been used or not, because I feel like it's really important to make sure they're cleansed and recharged. And how I was saying earlier about the smoke not being drawn to positive energy, and then when it feels like it's cleansed, it's like it's attached to it. It's extremely intensified when it comes to crystals, and I love watching it. I think it's insane. It will completely avoid the object, and then it will surround the crystal, and it's just so cool to watch. There is no timing, there is no how long you should do this for. I go completely on intuition. So if you do decide to do this, go with what your heart says. If you want to sit there for 10 minutes and do it until you feel better, then that's fine. You do it for 5 seconds and you feel like it's done, then that is also fine. There is no right or wrong in your practice, essentially. If you feel like something is right to do and it's deep in your soul, then you should probably go ahead and do it. Right now I'm just placing my crystals on my altar just to make it all come together, and this will be the base look. And I just added some gypsophilia in as well because I'm absolutely obsessed with it and I think it's beautiful. Even though it's not seasonal, I just think it goes really well on my altar. It's just part of who I am. And then I also add my wand. My wand isn't finished, I'm making it myself, so it's not complete, but I did add that. Awesome, so this is what my altar usually looks like after a Sabbath, after my offerings, my flowers have been removed. This is just its very base level. So what I'm going to do now is I'm preparing Yule decorations. I got these from Aldi, these flowers. They were $4.99, but then they were also half price and they were a perfect winter bundle. And then my mum also did harvest some, I'm not sure what that tree is, I can't remember the name. What I'm doing now is, I'm just preparing all the flowers. I am no florist and I really am not an expert when it comes to flowers, but I am trying, and I do try to do an arrangement as best I can. You can add whatever you want as an offering. It doesn't have to be flowers, it doesn't have to be anything like that. Whatever you feel like you want to decorate your altar with is absolutely fine. I just like to incorporate the nature, I like to incorporate flowers, and I wanted something especially seasonal for Yule, so I didn't go out and harvest any because I haven't got access to my car at the moment, so I just had to take a walk down and buy these, but they're actually really, really good quality, and they're still alive now, which has been like a week since I did this video maybe, and they're still going really strong and look really, really nice. So yeah, you do what you can and what you've got to work with. If you don't have the means to go out and get some from nature itself, then go out and buy some. We do what we can and we make the best of every kind of situation that we're in, and it doesn't have to be a certain way that you think in your head. You don't have to get everything perfect or right all of the time. So yeah, I'm just arranging the flowers now. I've not really got much to say about what I'm doing. You will notice as well that when I did my altar, I did shift a lot of stuff around. That's completely fine if you put something somewhere and then go back to it and think that's not right. If you need to move it around, do it as many times for it to feel right, because that is your sacred space and that is your safe space, and you're the one that's going to be sat there and it's like aura in its space, in its energy, and it has to feel right for you as a person. So don't get hung up on what is the right way to do this, what is the wrong way to do this, I have to put this here and this here. Those things don't matter. There is a rough guideline of what is suggested, but it is completely up to you how you design your altar. If you want me to do a more thorough, in-depth talk on how I design my altar, how I place things, what is the suggested way to place things on an altar, then please do let me know, because I'm more than happy to do that. I would love to talk you through all the elements of my altar and just ramble on some more, because you know I love rambling. So yeah, as you can see, all the pieces are coming together now. I'm just placing them in, seeing how they look and shifting them about. And I also did buy some, it's like a Christmas decoration, it's like glitter roses and things. I just added them in as well to add a little bit of sparkle. They are only fake, so by all means add what you need to make it look complete, but this is the finished bouquet that I made, the finished arrangement. So I'm just adding that onto my altar now. And I do always put that in that goddess side. I don't tend to put it anywhere else. And as you can see, I'm just taking some extra bits from the other tree and snipping some bits off. Now this will act as smaller decorations around the bottom of my altar, just because I didn't want all of that natural energy in one area. So I'm just placing it around just to make it look all nice and complete, just wherever feels right. And I'll shift things around until they look right to me, until they feel right, and until they feel complete. And then I've just got some dried like mini pine cones and dried oranges, and again they are absolutely perfect for Yule, so I'm just adding those onto my altar as well as more decorations. So I'm putting the dried little pine cones onto the like the fir, is it called a fir tree? I'm not sure, but onto those just to bring it all together really. And then I did put the oranges in my offering bowl, but they did not look right, and I didn't really want to do that, so I'm just placing them around wherever feels right, wherever looks right, and just to bring it all together really. And there we go, that's pretty much it. So I'm just going to show you now what my altar looks like, and I hope you enjoy. Thank you so much for watching. Please do leave any comments down below. I would love to hear from you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that little bell for me, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!